What's happened with Venezuela has triggered a whole lot of debate on whether Greenland is next, and Trump too suggested it.
We need Greenland from a national security situation. It's so strategic. Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security. And Denmark is not going to be able to do it, I can tell you.
Well, this comes as no surprise because even before taking over as president, Trump had spoken of buying Greenland.
We need them for economic security. The Panama Canal was built for our military. Look, the Panama Canal is vital to our country. It's being operated by China. China. And we gave the Panama Canal to Panama. We didn't give it to China. And they've abused it. They've abused that gift. It should have never been made, by the way. Giving the Panama Canal is why Jimmy Carter lost the election, in my opinion, more so maybe than the hostages. The hostages were a big deal.
So you've heard what he said. That brings us to the question, can a country be bought? And why does Trump want to buy Greenland? We'll answer all of these questions in just a bit. First, a bit about Greenland. It's the world's largest island, about a fourth the size of the United States. It's a country, but part of Denmark territory, but it's autonomous. What that means is that Greenland elects 2 representatives to Denmark's parliament, but also has its own parliament. So yes, they have their own government. 75% of the island is covered by a permanent sheet of ice. Only a small part of this island is actually habitable, which makes Greenland the least densely populated area of the world. About 56,000 people live in Greenland, the population largely concentrated in capital Nuuk. 88% of the population is the local Inuit community. So I know what you're wondering. Why is Trump interested in buying a country like Greenland with such a small population?
It's not all about real estate bragging rights. It's about geography, strategy, and staying ahead of the US adversaries. So let me show you on the map, this map, because here you will be able to understand that what exactly we are referring to. So here is the map, and here this part is Greenland. And the Kola Peninsula, which we are referring to, is this region. So this is Kola Peninsula. Let me enlarge in it. And this Kola Peninsula is the base for the Russian Navy. The Kola Peninsula, that's the Russia's powerhouse in the north and home for the northern fleet of the Russian Navy, where there are submarines. Russian Navy has base, and majority of their nuclear-powered ballistic missiles and their submarines are placed there. Kola Peninsula, this portion here, you can really see that where exactly is the Kola Peninsula. This is the kind of map, you know, this is the 2D map, the two-dimensional map. And here, they sit right across the Finland and Sweden, just adjacent to that. And this is the Barents Sea. But here, when you see the shortest circle route which we are talking about is actually a route which can, from this Kola Peninsula, they can fire up to the continental part of the US or the US mainland via this route, because this is the Arctic pole, this is the Arctic Sea, and the ICBM, the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, and their testing sites like pellets are also in this region. So here you can see the difference, or the distance. The distance between Russia and United States is very short here, and that is the reason why President Donald Trump thinks that it is important to shoot down any ICBM coming towards the United States at this region, and that's why he wants the Greenland. And the US isn't starting from scratch here. We already have a key asset, a Pituflik space base, formerly known as Thule Air Base in the northwest Greenland. And you will see these pictures. Recently, US Vice President J.D. Vance visited Greenland along with the Second Lady Usha Vance, and he was greeted by the US military personnel there. You can see here the US Air Force. So the US military personnel, those who are stationed in Greenland, they are already there. So US has a base, but US want absolute control of the Greenland. And this is the northernmost military installation of the United States, operated by the US Space Force Command since 2020. But it's not just about Russia. The Arctic is heating up. Literally, climate change is melting the ice, and you can see here the ice is melting in the Arctic region. This is opening up new routes, new paths, and opening the Northern Sea route faster than ever. This Northern Sea route is considered as the fastest route as compared to the Suez Canal as well. And the Chinese cargo ships are already sailing this path to European ports like Flexstove near the Rotterdam in Netherlands, cutting transit time to 18 to 20 days, half the Suez Canal route. And without those Suezmax size limits, because Suez Canal has a size limit for the ships, and here in the northern Arctic route there is no size cap, and therefore the bigger container ships, bigger cargo ships of the Chinese exports can travel through this route, and this boosts China's EU trade big time. And where commerce goes, military follows. China, calling itself a near Arctic state, has sent research submarines under the ice already and raising alarms about future military submarines venturing into North Atlantic, and that is also one of the key reasons and key fears for US military and President Donald Trump. Add in Greenland's vast mineral resource like rare earth minerals critical for technology and defenses, and you see why Donald Trump says Denmark is not going to be able to do it alone, because US has that technological prowess. Denmark and Greenland have pushed back, saying it's not for sale and could even end NATO if forced. So this is the kind of warning coming from Denmark and its Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen. But the White House is relentless. The White House even mentioned the military as always an option, though that's raised eyebrows across Europe, because that is going to spark another competition and another challenge for the EU and US collaboration.